Do you live and breathe the beautiful game? Dream about the biggest soccer moments?
Or maybe you just want to hear some unfiltered takes from real fans like you.
Welcome to Futbol Unfiltered, where the passion for soccer knows no boundaries.
Meet your panel, Carl Phillip, JD, Yanel, and Coach. From the world's biggest matches to those unforgettable moments that made us fall in love with and the rising stars shaping soccer's future, you'll find it all here. Join us every week for Futbol Unfiltered, the bilingual soccer podcast that speaks your language, your passion, and your love for the game. Futbol Unfiltered, where soccer's heart beats louder.
All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Futbol Unfiltered. We got a lot to cover tonight. So tonight we're gonna do something special. So we're gonna do the show in both Creole and English tonight. But so we'll see how it's gonna go. But anyway, I got my you're no longer a guest anymore. You're just my co-host now. So I have my co-host tonight, Alain Levy. What's going on, my man?
I'm all right, man. How about yourself, Coach?
I'm doing well, man. As a matter of fact, I went back to coaching again, and I had a practice tonight. I had so much fun. I'm coaching the U10 at Rangers
Wow.
Academy, so I'm back at doing what I love doing.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man. Today we're on the second week. We have a tournament this weekend. I'm very excited about those players, man. The kids look good. It's going to be a fun season, so I'm excited. What about you? How you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Sorry we couldn't make it happen on Sunday,
Right.
but I'm glad we were able to work something out, and we're meeting today for our fans because we have a large fan base, right? They're watching us all over the world, so
I know,
excited.
man. I know. Yeah, no. Yeah, exactly, man. We got a fan base. They want us to talk about soccer and they have fun
Yep.
today. And the one thing about this show is, as you see, is we're not. It's not script. It's very authentic. We just talk from the heart because we love this game. We love this game with a lot of passion. So, Ale, you rocking your Brazil jersey tonight. I love it, man. So let's start with this. So obviously, one of the things that uh, that flew under the radar in the summer was the Copa America, the women version of the Copa America in South America. So and that's probably why Ale is wearing his Brazil shirt because Brazil won the Copa America. I think was it the third time or the fourth time in a row, but they be dominating the tournament. Obviously, the European Championship took center stage, and nobody really talk about the Copa America. I know we kind of talk about it a little bit, but not too much. But since Brazil won it, we haven't had the show to kind of really talk about it. But Brazil won it, and actually it was a thriller. Went in all the way to PK, I believe, and Marta was instrumental in winning the Copa America for Brazil. So when you're looking at all the accolades, everything that Marta is doing, and especially playing at such high level and that age right now, is Marta the best female soccer player ever? So what's your take on that?
Of course, Martha is the GOAT. She's the GOAT. And I know where this conversation may lead to, but I watched that game, Colombia against Brazil. I
Yeah,
watched that game with my father. Actually, it was 3 weeks ago, if I'm not wrong. That was the best female soccer game I've ever watched.
yeah,
The intensity was there. The competition was at high level. Both teams were highly competitive. There were about, if I'm not wrong, 7 goals, right? If I'm not wrong, before it went to OT.
yeah.
It was incredible. I couldn't imagine that I been wasting this entire month watching the European soccer tournament and missing out on this game. But it was great. Martha was incredible. She was amazing. She was the reason why Brazil won that tournament. She was
Hmm.
instrumental to Brazil. And I'm not even gonna talk about the goals that she scored because the goals were so amazing. And I hope you have those goals to show the public. I mean, the goals that she scored, and especially to equalize, that was such a beautiful goal. But the moment that Mota got on the field, because we know she's a bit older, right? She's been playing for more than a decade actually, right? So it makes sense that she didn't play the entire game. But the moment that they put her in the game, you saw the difference. And I wish that the coach put her earlier or sooner in the game because she was a difference maker. Morta is what you call a difference maker. And I think what Messi does for Argentina, that's exactly what Morta does for the women's soccer team. So I don't want to talk too much about this, but that game was amazing, and I was so impressed and happy for her actually.
No, you're absolutely right. And the funny thing about it is maybe the championship game was the best game because
It was.
I mean the tournament was not really a good tournament, and for multiple reasons. The field condition was horrendous. And I mean, let's be real. The competition is not there, compared to Europe. I mean, when you're looking at the European tournament, from a competition level, the competition was a little bit higher. The level of soccer was a little bit higher. I think outside of Colombia and Brazil, and I mean, which is one of the reasons Brazil been winning, consecutively, is the level is not that great. But at the same time, just like you mentioned, it was still a great game. It was very entertaining. It was a great game. But let's talk about this, right? So you said Marta is the goat. Hey, from a soccer standpoint, uh, I don't think you're wrong all the way, but it's funny to me that when you're looking at Messi, before Messi won the World Cup. No, hold on. Before Messi won the World Cup, everybody said that Messi cannot be the goat until he won the World Cup. Last time I checked, Marta hasn't won a World Cup. So why, in your opinion, she's the GOAT?
I think she's the good because women's soccer is younger than men's soccer. I think that women's soccer has really struggled over the years to pretty much establish themselves as a brand and to get the proper credit that they deserve. I know that's something that the American Soccer Federation, the Women's Soccer Federation, has fought a lot for um, because they've been quite successful for decades. But we still haven't seen the level of recognition for women's soccer. I know in Europe, like you said, they're trying to establish themselves. The level is a bit higher, but as a whole, you can look at the amount of revenue potential, the income that they make, the salaries, those gaps. I think it's a bit harder for the women. Martha has been the reason why I'm saying that she's the GOAT. Yeah, definitely, I agree with you. She hasn't won a World Cup, but I think the reason why we can talk about women's soccer today is because she's been the brand of women's soccer. She's been
Yeah,
the ambassador for you for women's soccer. She's the reason why women's soccer is where it is today. A lot of people know Martha in the United States, around the world, in Europe, and she has inspired a lot of young American girls and European girls to play soccer. So, in that sense, I think I want to give her the proper credit because of the hard work and what she's done for women's soccer at this stage. Yes, definitely, to be a fully goated player, you need to have that World Cup with you. But she has played 6 World Cups. You know, I think
yeah,
that's the record for men and women.
yeah,
She's been Player of the Year, FIFA Player of the Year 6 times from 2006, 2010, and 2008. She's dominated soccer for more than a decade. I
yeah.
don't think there's a lot of women that can claim that record right now in today's environment. So I would have loved for Martha to actually win a World Cup. I think that would have guaranteed her spot as the GOAT. But out of respect for her and out of respect for her career, I think it's fair to consider her as the GOAT.
No, hey, listen, I agree with you. I think we are very we are very trophy oriented society, right? It's all about hardware, and it's about the amount of trophies that you won. But for everything that you said, I agree with you. From if we're looking at strictly from a footballing standpoint, it's she has done so much in the game, and you mentioned it, having to play in 6 World Cups, and then still playing. Think about it. I believe that she won the MLS women the women MLS version last year for Orlando, and it was her that scored the winning goal, and she's a role model for women, for young girls trying to play the game. Because the one thing I like about Marta was, uh, she didn't lie to the game. I mean, she gives you everything that she got. I mean, you got players, they got bigger, and then they become Hollywood, and then they become more commercialized. It's all about the brand. But when you're looking at somebody like Marta, she has been true to the game since day one. She comes in and play, and then did not cheat the game. She just give all her heart, all the sweat and tears for the game. It takes luck to win a World Cup. Sometimes talents don't win, tournaments all the time. Sometimes you can get a little bit lucky, like a ball that was supposed to go in the and go in your way. I mean, you think about it. When they play, I believe, uh, the U.S. What year was that? And Brazil almost won the game, and Habby Wambach
Yep.
scored that header with the last minute of the game. So that's what I'm saying. So when you think about it, and that's what Brazil got ousted. So sometimes it take a little bit of luck, and having the right team around you to make things happen. But when it comes to her talent and what she meant to the game, I believe that she's supposed to be in the talks as far as one of the best to ever play the game. So sometimes hardware don't define your greatness. It's how you play day in and day out, and she deserves to be considered in that conversation. So,
No, I think
so
I think you're dead on, coach. I think Brazil has been unlucky. I think the women's soccer team from Brazil is one of the unluckiest team ever. Because I feel like Argentina, um, the fact that Messi won the World Cup a few years ago, I think that kind of at least help appease the fan base, right? At least we could say he got his justice, right? He finally won it. And,
yeah,
at times, like, you may not be a fan of Argentina, but at least you're a fan of the game and you want to see Messi win a World Cup. You want him, like, it was the one World Cup where I was okay with the fact that he won. I was not because I love Argentina, but because I respect Messi for his discipline and his leadership, right? And that's the thing here. The Messis, the Marthas, they play the game with discipline. They have leadership. They are
yeah,
well respected. They're not like the Neymars of the world, those fancy kids with a lot of money, and then they don't take things seriously and they miss their potential. So I think, to your point, yeah, I think Martha deserves it, and I feel like she is a global brand, and she's even compared to Pele, to be honest with you. They call her the Pele with skirts. Trying not to offend anyone here, but because Pele was considered like one of the greatest Brazilian soccer player, she's the female version of Pele, and I think it's a great honor.
mhm. So good, man. So yeah, this good conversation. So we're still on the women's soccer. So this one is closer to heart, because of where we from. So Melchi Dumornay got nominated for Ballon d'Or for the women version. So Alain, so pensez de ça?
Bon, je pense que c'est un gros honneur et pour tout Haïtien. Et vu tout ça que le pays a passé, tout problème que nous gagnons, et tout problème politique, économique, social, toute instabilité qui gagne dans le pays, je pense que si on a une lumière d'espoir, tu vois, c'est Melchi. Et le moment là, c'est Melchi qui a fait nous rêver, c'est Melchi qui a, hopefully, s'il a gagné Ballon d'Or ça, il a peut-être changé conditions, mentalité nous, gens que nous, tête nous en tant qu'Haïtiens. So, je pense que Melchi sont une grande inspiration pour tout le peuple là. Je pense que sont une inspiration pour tout Haïtien qui vivent aussi la diaspora à l'étranger. Parce que, l'on regarde côté nous aujourd'hui, nous, côté Melchi sorti, ou dame 21 ans, qui a fait de belles bagages en Europe et qui est considéré comme un ballon d'or, ce qui veut dire que il a une chance de nommer pour être meilleur joueur mondial féminin et son haïtien nié, ça veut dire que nous-mêmes, nous avons pile là, nous avons pile potentiel, nous avons pile qualité là, c'est nous-mêmes qui pouvons décider ça nous veut faire. So, je pense que c'est un moment historique, non seulement pour le football haïtien, mais c'est un moment historique pour tout haïtien et même pour le football mondial là, parce que ou jeune demoiselle, 21 ans, cap gourmet, pas seulement pour tête, pour tout le pays. So, moi, je suis très fier que Melchi nominé et moi, j'espère que la gagne parce qu'il méritait gagner. Pour moi, c'est le meilleur joueur féminin au monde, point barre.
D'accord avec 100%. Mais même pour moi, nous déjà gagnons déjà. Est-ce que vous considérez Melchi dans ballon d'or moins pour nous son victoire liée pour nous? But Jean Zola, faut nous gagner juste et net, right? Nous pas besoin de deuxième, c'est nous besoin de premier, nous besoin de tout le la net. Non, d'accord ensemble avant. C'est que son fierté liée pour le peuple haïtien, la culture haïtienne, et puis spécialement nous sommes peuple qui aime le football en pile. Au moins, nous lever, nous aimer le football en pile, ça veut dire que le football, c'est son culture liée pour nous, il fait partie de culture nous. Et puis pour ouais que on monde qui joue football dans condition ça. Quand on a parlé de Messi toute la journée, on a parlé de Neymar, on a parlé de paquet de bon monde. But that's que nous son monde qui la nous qui sorti la nous qui sont haïtiennes et puis qui en forme. C'est pas tant que it's not quand yo dit comme ça que nous n'a pas pitié pour haïtien puis n'a mettre Melchi là. Vraiment mamzelle mérité ça, mamzelle dominer football là, mamzelle a joué bien pour club li et puis bon première fois moi merci jouer c'est le Haïti t'a joué dans la Coupe du monde là et me pense que niveau talent que mamzelle gagne I mean even from a guy standpoint nous pas ça comment ça veut dire là donc ça veut dire que le n'a gardé bon m'pa comparer merci me dit et par rapport à Mano Sanon par rapport à Philippe Vob m'pa faire comparaison ça mais le m'a gardé depuis le m'a gardé football mais même comment on regarde le football avec tout le monde qui passe devant moi que nos talents c'est plus bon monde c'est footballeur qui plus talentueux que nous gagnons et que m'a regardé même moi on veut dire là pas ouais que si m'a parlé de talent c'est mon moi qui a plus talent que moi dans le football haïtien depuis le m'a regardé football haïtien donc ça veut dire que Philippe Bob et Mano Sanon c'était avant moi c'est dans la télévision, dans YouTube, moi, ouais, ça, mais le m'a regardé, mais même, football, c'est mon moyen qui a plus talent. Que garçon, que fille, moi, c'est Melchi qui a plus talent. Donc, on veut dire que m'ta souhaité que les gagnent, nous connaissons que docteur, et docteur Noah qui réside dans docteur Noah Joe, c'est mon qui connaît Melchi, me souhaite, bon, me souhaité que me souhaite là, soir, vous me souhaitez bye. You know, et ça que lui possède de nomination, mais comme nous-mêmes, j'en dis là, son fierté liée, nous avons souhaité qu'il gagne, et j'en dis avec tout le problème que Haïti gagne, tout ça qui a passé en Haïti, si nous avons espoir ça, si nous avons victoire ça, moi que ça va bon barré pour le pays. Donc, Alain, well said, right on, and not supporter Merci all the way.
Non, ap supporte Mershi all the way, epi kom jo pa, nap vwe ou gwo kout chapeau pou monsieur, pou Excel Medical Associates, paske monsieur e investi an pil nan football haïtien, investi an pil
Yep.
nan la jeunesse haïtienne, job fok ouken travay lan communauté haïtienne lan, e le nou gen haïtien kon sa kap investi dan tèt yo, kap investi business yo, kap investi lam yo, nou ba positif kon sa, fò nou rekonnet sa, paske nous faut l'en critiquer, l'en parler de haïtien mal, l'en faire zin, l'en critiquer. Et je pense que moi, j'aime travail que Dr. Durandis a fait, moi, j'aime travail que l'a fait non seulement pour la communauté haïtienne, mais aussi pour le football haïtien. Il y a un peu de jeunes en Haïti que l'a sponsorisé, que l'a financé, que l'a aidé, l'a essayé de promouvoir soccer en Haïti. Et je connais que il y a une très bonne relation avec Melchi. Depuis Melchi vient aux États-Unis, il est toujours là pour le support, pour le love là, pour l'encourager, joueur. Melchi, c'est, j'en dis, son joueur qui est extrêmement talentueux. Et là, m'a regardé le jouer, vraiment coach, moi, ouais, que c'est son joueur que, ouais, qui a fait dans n'importe quel club en Europe. Sans complexe, sans limitation. Quelques fois qu'on a regardé deux joueurs haïtiens, on dit, ah, monsieur qui a joué l'équipe haïtienne, mais ou pas monsieur qui a joué le Real Madrid, ou pas monsieur qui a joué beaucoup de Mbappé, ou pas monsieur qui a joué avec Messi, mais Melchi lui-même, ou qui a joué n'importe côté, n'importe où.
Fafab joue avec Messi, oui, là.
Fafab joue avec Messi, mais Messi, c'est Messi 3e division. C'est pas Messi Barcelona. On continue, on vend ce chat, on va le gosser le bail, ça.
Okay. Hey, on parlait, ma beau fact.
Merci, t'es mon ami, pas merci Barcelona. Sont sérieux. OK. Merci beaucoup, la direction.
Well, no.
You can't help yourself. You gotta go there. You just have to go. You cannot help yourself. Unbelievable.
Yeah, you just say, man. I just want to make sure that fact check you, man.
All right, you're right.
No, that was no. Obviously, we need to have fun with this, and we always gonna have fun. But no, that was Sotia. Ou gen raison, ouais. Melchi c'est une moun. Quand on regarde l'équipe Barcelone, on a joué pour Barcelone, on a joué pour Chelsea, on a joué pour n'importe quelle équipe en Europe. Même, Mamzelle a joué dans la finale l'année dernière, when ils ont perdu devant Barcelone. Donc, ça veut dire que, j'aime dire là, l'orga des talents Mamzelle. L'orga des talents Mamzelle, pour j'aime Mamzelle jouer football là, mon cher, it's a continuous, it's a generational talent. Je pense que nous avons un talent ça. Nous avons un sac de talent ça souvent. C'est chaque 10 ans, chaque 20 ans, chaque 30 ans, chaque 40 ans, chaque 50 ans où est style de talent ça. Donc, nous avons souhaité que Mamzelle était en santé. J'en parlais à Mamzelle. Mamzelle a 21 ans seulement. So, she's very young. So, vous connaissez que dans le domaine sport là, bagay qui raille moun dans domaine sport c'est blessure. Donc nous t'a souhaité que Mamzelle rete pas grand peu blessure, il continue à jouer et puis hopefully Mamzelle capable aider Haïti encore pour nous qualifier dans la prochaine Coupe du Monde. Donc et puis Kounia l'a venu plus expérience, c'est deuxième Coupe du Monde li. Donc nous t'a souhaité que Mamzelle capable mettre équipe là sous dos li et puis mettre Haïti pivot. But j'en dis à Alain si tu as un mot en plus que fierté, c'est mot ça n'a pas utilisé. Parce que pour regarder qui ça a passé en Haïti avec problème économique, politique, social, j'en dis, et puis nous avons espoir ça, et puis nous jouons un monde comme ça, cap jouer et puis cap fait bon bagage. Je ne parler de mental, Mamzelle a fait bien. Pour un résultat, Mamzelle a travaillé bien, Mamzelle a fait bien. Et Jean Zola, I'm bien content de parler de Dr. Durandis qui a fait un bon travail. And, sometimes, c'est moun qui ont besoin, c'est pas moun qui a fait pile, parle en pile, moun qui a fait travail, they all about actions. Quand dit moun yo, gon bay en anglais, c'est talk is cheap. So that's one thing that nous aimons avec Dr. Durandis, la fait travail là, et puis la supporter et communauté haïtienne, à l'extérieur. Et aux États-Unis comme ça tout en Haïti tout. Donc un pile love pour Excel Medical un pile love pour Dr. Durandis. C'est bien dommage, monsieur pas là à soir, parce que pour nous avoir monsieur love là pendant monsieur sous show, donc on connaît que monsieur regarde show, l'acteur des show, donc un pile love pour Dr. Durandis. Donc, allez, on nous fait virer ballon là. Donc, et saison football en Europe l'a commencé. So there was a lot of off-season transfer going on. Like Rashford went to Barcelona. You got that kid from River Plate, Matuando. He played today for Real Madrid. What you think so far of the off-season transfer?
Moshe, I'm not it. Rashford, when he played this weekend, right?
Yeah, he played this weekend.
And I don't know. I saw the game. By the way, Lamine Yamal scored an amazing goal. Hopefully, we'll talk about that during the
we're gonna talk about that
meeting. But I don't know. I felt like he didn't make an impact though on the front. Maybe the parts that I saw him falling on the ball.
And you talking about Rashford?
Yeah, did he play a game on Sunday?
No, he played. Saturday? Yeah, he played. He played. He came off the bench. He came off the bench and he played. Obviously, I mean, playing for Barcelona, it's it's very big, man. It's
he
very
looked
big,
lost
man.
though. I feel like he looked lost. Maybe it's because he just got there. The chemistry maybe is not there yet with everybody.
Yeah, it's the first game. Like I said, it's the first game.
Yeah.
It's the first game of the season. I mean, think about it. I mean, he took Neymar. I mean, when you think about it, Neymar had a great Barcelona career, but he took Neymar a lot of games to get acclimated. To the point that I mean, his favorite story about Barcelona was he was struggling. He was struggling really big time, and then to the point that at one time and halftime he was crying. He was crying. He was like, "Man, I don't know if I'm worthy to be in that team." And Messi came to him and said, "Hey, be yourself. Play the way you know how to play. You're a great player. That's why you're here. So you need to play." And he said that since Messi had that conversation with him, and then that's what he needed. So but when you think about it, I mean, you got Coutinho. Coutinho was a beast when he was playing at Liverpool. Went to Barcelona, did not have bad year. Dembele, Dembele might win the Ballon d'Or this year, but when he was at Barcelona, he was a chef of himself. So, I mean, again, if we were like in January and second part of the season, and you got that kind of Rashford, I would be like, ooh, I don't know about that, but it's still early in the season.
So you agree that his performance was lackluster, right? There's some opportunity, like, and you're right. I'm not saying that I expected him to be great on the first game, but I could tell that this guy is new to the group because I know how Barcelona plays. I've seen them thanks to you. They're pretty structured. They're pretty fast. They know how to move around, and I felt like he was out of pace and sometimes out of place with the team.
Yeah, sometimes when you the newcomer, you try to make an impact right away. But to his defense, Barcelona played horrible. Barcelona played horrible. I know everybody wants to talk about Yamin Lama goal, but I mean, when you think about it, the game was Barcelona was winning 2-0, and and the other team had like 2 red cards. So, and 2 red cards in the first half. So you'd be like, oh my goodness. So Barcelona, I mean, the game was 2-0 and the team had 2 red cards. So you thought that Barcelona just gonna steamroll that team and beat him by 5 or 6-0 because they were playing with 9 players. And Barcelona stopped playing. They stopped playing. They did not play well. They looked terrible. I mean, and then think about it. He took Neymar. Lamine Yamal all the way to injury time to score that goal. So and
Yeah.
then because he was looking, he wanted to score so bad. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, he's ready. I mean, about I was very nervous about him coming into the season with all the off-season drama that he had. I mean, Lamine Yamal was talked more about all his off the field drama than what he was doing on the field.
He's
No,
18. He's a kid.
yeah, but no,
Yeah.
but sometimes, man, you just gotta, you gotta go very slow, man. I mean, he's doing too much. He was doing too much. So I was a little bit nervous. Anyway, it's the first game. It's
Yep.
really, but but to see the way he comes back in the season, the way he's playing, he's ready. I mean, he's ready,
I
and
agree.
if he stays healthy, man, Barcelona are in good hands, and Spain is in good hand. I mean, when you see Sven going into the next World Cup, you got that kid Lamine Yamal playing the way he plays. Hopefully, he stays like that. But if he stays the way he started the season in the same fashion, whoo, ooh, watch out for Spain. Watch out for Spain. But yeah. So I
You
think
know,
I think
one more thing. Speaking
yeah.
of crying, like you said, Neymar was crying. So I think Messi needs to go have a talk with him because he was crying also last weekend, you know, like a little baby girl. I'm
Yeah,
trying to be nice
hey,
here. So
that, that,
maybe Messi needs to go give him a talk, give his friend a little FaceTime, say, hey man, why don't you play the way you used to play and stop whining? How about that? Keep
yeah,
moving.
I don't understand the crying thing. So I mean, you got beat 6-0. I mean, it's not the first time you get beat really bad. That's part of the game. I don't understand the whole crying thing.
I told you like months ago that we need to move on from Neymar, and you keep making him like Brazil's savior. I hope we are gonna be in a space where you're gonna say, Alan, you're all right. You guys need to move forward and put this Neymar story behind you guys if you want to win the World Cup next year. Clearly, he hasn't done anything. Clearly, he's not mentally fit to even jump into World Cup, a serious World Cup next year. You cannot be a year away from a World Cup and cry, and you want to be the leader of the team. You want to be the captain. You want to be the voice. This
Yeah.
guy needs to go. We need to let him go. I'm just saying it out loud again today. He needs to move on
No.
with his life and retire.
So Alain, so I don't disagree with you. I think where we were coming from is if Neymar has an ounce of if he still got a little bit left in his tank, Brazil would be so far, would be better off if Neymar got a little bit left on his tank. But I think Neymar is dealing with a lot of stuff that you and I don't even know about
Like
because
what? The guy
no
is
no no
super
no
wealthy. Like what?
no
What
but
is the problem? What does he have?
no, he can be super wealthy, but I think his mental is not there. I mean, mental health is serious, and when you see, I mean, let me put it this way. I mean, Neymar played a lot of games in his life, and Neymar, had a lot of heartache, in his career. So to lose a game 6-0, as you bounce back for it, and then you move on, and then to cry in that fashion, I don't know. I mean, that tells me that he's seeking for something. He's seeking for some help. It's a cry for help, man. I think Neymar got some major I'm not listen. I'm not gonna come here and say that he got some mental health issue. This is not what I'm doing because I'm not a doctor. I'm not here to say what it is. But what I'm saying is for somebody to kind of burst out like that, especially this is not your first rodeo. This is not a World Cup game when you know that, man, this is it for me. I mean, it was just a regular season game. You were just playing against a rival, and then you got beat 6-0. I'm still trying to wrap my head around. I mean, around why he was just crying like that. But I don't know. Like I said, so he might have other things that is bothering him, and that was a way for him to express himself. So I don't know. But for me, when I see things like that, it's deeper than what we see on the surface. That's just my opinion.
All right, since you're the coach, I will leave it at that. I think he was crying because he just realized that he's not gonna make it to the World Cup. He's not gonna get picked, and he realized that probably is his last year, and it's over, pretty
Yeah,
much.
I mean, you think about it when you're looking at what Brazil has, the players that he has, there might not be room for him. There might not be room for him. I mean, you got Vini Jr. By the way, Vini Jr. played today for Real Madrid. Vini Jr. came out of the game, so I don't understand what's going on with him at Real Madrid. I think he needs to go to a different team.
Is it? Did he get settled? Did he get his contract? I know he was negotiating, trying to get some money. And what's the outcome out of this?
I think they're still. I don't know what.
Negotiating.
Yeah, they're still negotiating, but we talk about this in the show before. I think bringing Mbappe was the biggest slap in Vini's face, especially after the year that he had. Was supposed to win the Ballon d'Or, deserved to win the Ballon d'Or, and won the Champions League with Real Madrid. And then what's the point? Especially the way he carried the team, and then you go and grab somebody like Mbappe and literally told Mbappe, "This is your team." So for me, I thought that from a superstar standpoint, that was the biggest slap in the face. I mean, the team did not need Mbappe. So I mean, they got Mbappe strictly for marketing perspective.
Oh,
So
come
they
on,
should.
coach. Come on,
Ah,
man. Come. Mbappe is a world champion. Come
yeah, but
on.
okay, Real just won everything without Mbappe. So tell
Come
me, tell
on.
me. Okay, let me put it this way. Tell me from a team standpoint, how the addition of Mbappe really is that was it a missing piece for Real Madrid when they got Mbappe?
I think Mbappe is gonna be huge this year. I think he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. I think he's going to be very aggressive. I saw his game this weekend. He was great on the field. He scored. He's a force. I understand Vinny did a great job the year prior, and he was supposed to win, the Ballon d'Or. But he can't. Vinny is not Mbappe. I mean, if I had to pick between Mbappe and Vinny, I will pick Mbappe. Although I like Vini a lot, but I think Mbappe is. I like his attitude, man. The guy is all business. He wants to score. He's always on the go. I have an issue with Brazilian players or players in general that are constantly crying and whining. I feel like this generation of Brazilian players, all they do is argue, whine, complain, and cry. And I have a problem with that. I'm old school. I want you to come and play and be disciplined and stop whining and just play the ball. And I don't see that with Vinny. I see him do a lot of talking, a
Yep,
lot of whining,
yep.
and less playing. And that's my frustration with him.
No, 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 no. And the casual fan would agree with you. When you see Mbappe, it's too. So this is my thing when it comes. I say Mbappe, Vini Jr. When I look at Vini Jr., it's too much of a. It is so good. It's too much of a good player to get caught up in everything else that has nothing to do with soccer, right? And I'm not saying that off the field thing. It's just like, dude, just play. Just play the game. You over here, you always arguing with the ref. You arguing with the fans. You arguing with with the opponent. Just play, man. I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand that he get caught up in too many things that had nothing to do with the game. And it's not even, it's not like I'm saying that, sometimes you play the gamesmanship thing, so you try to get in people's head. I was like, no, he's not even doing that. They're getting on his head. So I was just like, dude, you too much of a good player. So for me as a coach, that's one thing that for me, is one of my pet peeves. When
Mhm.
you are very good as a player, just let your game do the talking. And
Correct.
yeah, and I feel like with people like Vini, they just talk too much. Just play, and because I feel like from a player perspective, when you put the target on your back like that, now the referee, it's against you. You have the referee against you. You see what I'm saying? So you don't need to shine the light on you. Just play. Your game's gonna do all the talking. And that's why I'm never, when I used to play, I was never the guy who always talked back to the ref or who always wanna run my mouth. I just wanna play. I just wanna play and do my talking on the field. But I don't know, man. I think it's the problems now. Those guys feel like, and you see it. It's not even in soccer. You see it in basketball, and those guys are constantly talking to the ref. Even when they get the call,
Mhm.
they always talking to the ref. I don't understand it. I don't
Yeah.
understand when we make that switch when people feel like they have. I think it's the world we live right now.
They're
Everybody feel like,
entitled. They
yeah,
feel
yeah.
entitled. That's what it
I
is.
think,
It's just
yeah,
like
it's the world we live right now. Everybody feel like they need to have an opinion. Everybody wants to have an opinion on everything. So the ref
yeah.
made a call. Somebody had to have an opinion on the call that the ref just made. He just play, dude. Just play. So, but I agree with you. That I don't know if it's a generational thing. I don't know if it's a branding thing. So when they talk more, they feel like they get more play time. I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't get it. So you don't you still, I mean, hey, listen, I think I agree with you. When it comes to Neymar, that's why I keep saying that I think Neymar's problem is deeper than it is. And you're right. And maybe he saw that the windows and opportunity keep closing on him,
Yeah.
and he's not performing the way he's supposed to perform. And I mean, even Ancelotti, he's not even talking about Neymar. But like I said, Neymar, if he ever get back 80% to what he was even before he got hurt, when he was playing in his last year at PSG, I think it would be good for Brazil. So
Okay. See, this is where you again trying to set us up for failure.
I'm not
But
sending you.
we're
I'm not.
not gonna fall into that trap, coach. You're entitled to your opinion. My advice to Ancelotti is to do the following: go ahead and take the top 20 players in Europe that are Brazilian.
Yeah.
Look at the top 20 players in Brazil that are Brazilian and have a trial. Take the best out of 40, right? The best top 21 players and make the team. If Neymar doesn't make the cut, he doesn't make the cut. Let's not use brand. Let's not use name. Let's not do that, right? Take the best in Europe versus the best in Brazil, and make your team out of this. I don't care if you've been playing for 6 months, a year. If you end up being the best player for that position, you get on the team. That's it. That's how we used to do it. That's how we won 5 championships, and that's how it needs to happen. We need to turn the door. And again, I appreciate what Neymar did for Brazil. He gave us our first Olympic gold medal, and I will
Yeah.
never forget that. Great job, Neymar. And you missed your opportunity, and now it's time for the next generation, to lead, and I'm okay with that.
Well said. Well said, Ale. Well said.
Let's move on, sir. Let's move on.
All right. So now, so yeah, so you got the chance to watch, the first week of European soccer. So what team impressed you the most? I don't know if you had the chance to watch all the games, but what team impressed you the most if you're looking at across all big leagues?
Yeah,
Uh
yeah. That's a good question, Coach. I have to be honest with you. I didn't get a chance to watch all the games, and I watched the Barcelona game. That was
Mhm.
the game that I watched. But I even didn't get a chance to look at all the highlights. I've heard, I watched the news. I know Richarlison did a great job,
Yeah.
with his team. I've been reading, but I wish that I had more input on this one. But definitely by next week, I should be ready to kind of get into the rhythm and be more aware of what's going on with those clubs.
Yeah, that it was a lot of close call. I mean, Atletico Madrid lost
Yes,
the
I read
first game.
that too. Yep.
Atletico Madrid lost the first game. PSG only won nothing against a lower team. Again, I always say that the first game of the season is always the hardest. I mean,
Hmm.
even Real Madrid today. I mean, they won 1-0. I mean, it was. I mean, it was a dogfight. It was a dogfight. Liverpool looked good, uh, but that's always Liverpool. They always start the season really hot, and the flame, and they start getting cool. When it mattered the most. But like I said, I think it's gonna be a good season. I think there was a lot of moving piece. Like Luis Diaz went to Bayern this year. I think obviously you got Atletico Madrid. I don't know if it's gonna be the last hoo-ha for Diego Simeone.
It
I
is.
mean,
It's the
yeah,
last year. That's it. He's done, man. It's a wrap.
yeah. Man City looked good. Man City looked good in the first game. So
Chelsea. How about Chelsea?
yeah, Chelsea won too, and the first game as well too.
Okay.
So, like I said, I always think that the first game it's always the hardest game because you got the acclimation. I mean, some people just got back from vacation, you know, and they try to get their feet under him, but and you got all the emotion. Everybody try to make an impact,
Yeah.
and sometimes they're trying too much, and then they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. So I mean, I think when the people when you start seeing how your team is going, I would say probably on the fifth week. You got 5 weeks under your belt, and now you start figure things out. But I think the first 3 weeks of the season is still you're trying things out, right? You're trying things out. But five week into it, that's when you start seeing, okay, where are we gonna go? What we're gonna do? And and it's a long season. I mean, it's only August, so it's a long season. It's exciting. I think a lot of team made some moves, to beef him up. But it's a long season, so. Uh, we got Pulisic. He had a pretty good game for AC Milan. So it's exciting. And also now tomorrow, I think we have uh, the Leagues Cup going on in the U.S. And I don't know, for some reason, Allen, I feel like the entire tournament has been playing Miami. I feel like Miami always got a home game, man. I mean,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
is going
Wow.
on with
What a
that?
coincidence, huh? What a
I mean,
coincidence.
it looks like. I mean, I don't. You know what? I asked Joe the same question. I was like, hold on, man. Is the tournament's been playing in Miami? Because why Miami play all the games at home? I
Well,
mean,
yeah. You tell me. It's not hard to figure out. Why is that? Who lives in Miami now?
oh man,
Who's
it
selling
looks
tickets? Who's making the money? That's what it is. It's pure
so.
marketing,
Why?
man. It
I
makes
mean, I
sense.
don't know. Maybe that's a question because you have the league starting tomorrow, and Miami is playing quarterfinal, playing at home again. So what is it? And then he's playing against a Mexican team. Is it because the MLS team cannot go to Mexico? I don't know what's going on, man.
No, because they're gonna make. I think it's more visibility. Honestly, I think the U.S. Soccer Federation is has deployed an aggressive marketing strategy personally to start, um, launching the World Cup for next year. And I think the more they can put soccer out there, because think about it, in a few weeks you have the NFL starting, right? So once you have the NFL that starts in a couple of weeks, then then the attention shift to the NFL. So they need to find a way, I think, to keep up, to maintain that intensity, the visibility. And the only person right now who's the most watched soccer player in the world is Messi.
Yeah.
So they know if they can leverage Messi as much as possible, they can at least compete with the NFL that's coming. You have baseball coming also, who started already. So I think that's what it is. It's just visibility, marketing, making sure that we don't drop the ball for next year in terms of attendance and popularity for the sport.
Yeah, I agree with you, but man, it's just like for me, it's not only Miami, even the MLS teams, the other MLS team that qualify for the quarterfinal, they all play at home. Maybe the Leagues Cup is an American Cup. Maybe it's the American. Maybe it's an American tournament, and then they just invite those Mexican teams to come play in
Yeah.
that tournament. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's a American tournament, and they invite those Mexican teams to participate in it. But I was like, man, I mean, why Miami always got a home game? But speaking of Miami, man, what exactly that team is doing, man? I don't understand, man. I don't understand. All I see is a bunch of because the reason I'm saying that Drake Callender, the goalie for Inter Miami, that I mean, I remember when Messi came, was it 2 years ago? This guy was unbelievable. I mean, as a matter of fact, the League Cup, the League Cup when Miami won it, he was instrumental to that. Especially they had to win the championship in penalty, and this guy was unbelievable with stopping penalty. And all of a sudden, Mascherano became the head coach, and it looks like that team is just like a Diaspora Argentina team. I mean, like everybody that plays for that team was from Argentina. So, and I don't like it. I mean, I don't. I mean, I don't like what the MLS is doing. I feel like they're not spending enough time developing the American players. I feel like all they do is bring. I mean, obviously Messi is different, but when you're looking at the resume of guys that they bring in, and then they pay those guys the most money, and then you see the American players, they're not getting any love. I mean, when you think about it, even Inter Miami, I mean, who's the American? I mean, Kumashi was hot, 2 years ago, and all of a sudden he's no longer the same player anymore. I think that he got worse. So because I feel like for lack of development, they're not doing anything to start developing those American players. I mean, I don't understand. I hate. I mean, listen, I'm talking from a fan perspective. I just don't understand the game plan of Inter Miami because you cannot continue to try to bet on guys that are 38 and 35 or 38 and over and think that you're just going to win championship with that core group. I don't understand it. And I feel like I feel like there's a bunch of players, they're not that good. The only reason they on the team because Mascherano and Mascherano is from Argentina is get a bunch of Argentina players on the team. So I don't understand. I don't know if you feel the same way when you
Yeah, I
watch
think
Inter
yeah, I
Miami.
think we talked about this before. We talked about the trap, right? That sometimes we saw, historically speaking, the MLS has for the longest time, you know, bring over players, international players at the end of their career, paying them maximum dollars, right,
Yeah,
to make maximum profits here in the United States. And again, you're seeing the same thing happening in Miami because let's be honest, Miami is one or if not the hottest city right now in the United States. That's
Yeah.
what it is. I think we were reading an article over the weekend when we said that people don't even travel to Vegas anymore. They rather come to Miami. You have
Mhm.
sports, you have the beaches, you have the weather, you have the entertainment, you have everything there.
And
So
you
I
have
feel,
Messi.
and you have Messi too, right? That's what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have,
we have
yeah,
Messi.
that's Messi. Yeah, exactly. So I feel like to your point is like the upsides are even greater, and for them it's like, you know what? We don't know how long Messi is gonna be playing. We don't know how long this thing is gonna last. Um, when we look at our forecast, we're thinking maybe another year. After the World Cup next year, we don't know what Messi is gonna do. So let's just maximize everything we can to maximum our profit. And I think that's what's happening. I think the MLS is trying to do everything they can again to gain popularity and to maximize their profit. I don't think they
Yeah.
have the U.S. Soccer Federation in mind. I don't think they have the youth in mind because, to your point, every great American soccer player, what ends up happening, they end up traveling to Europe to get that exposure, to get that training, to get that experience. So
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with you on this
No,
one.
I mean, I'm okay with, when you think about it, even in South America, even in Brazil, I mean, let's be real. The best leagues are in Europe, right? So
Right.
I'm okay for you going to Europe to play in the best leagues. I'm okay with that. But not everybody. So we talk about when it comes to foreigners, only 1 or 2, only 5% are playing overseas. Like most of them are playing at home. Like most Brazilian are playing in Brazil. So the percentage of Brazilian playing abroad is very minimal, right? Same thing with I'm okay, but the development it's happening in Brazil, and then when they hit a certain you know stage, that's when they move to Europe. Just like that kid, Franco Matuando, that moved to Real Madrid. He started in River Plate. That's the same Echeverri that played for Argentina. That's going to Man City. They started in Argentina. So I want to see that. I want us to see those guys, the American players, get great development and get the exposure so the teams in Europe can be like, okay, I'm going to go and snatch them. So you think about it, those guys are going to Europe. It's not like they killing the MLS, and
Hmm.
then it's, oh, let's get him to Europe, right? But which is, I don't like it, but I understand. I understand what you're saying. They try to maximize and capitalize on the popularity of Messi and say, hey,
Yeah.
not even the popularity standpoint, he's performing. So, that's one thing that is good. I mean, he's giving people something to cheer for on, every time he plays. So he's
Correct.
performing, but at the same time, you know, my son playing youth soccer right now, and I think there's a lot of kids that are very good kids. We wanted to see that there's a future, at least from the MLS standpoint, when they start developing local talents, and then from there, now the big clubs can come in and snatch those guys. When you think about it, let's have a Boca Junior or River Plate. Let's have a Santos. Or I mean, look at the Brazilian team in the FIFA World Club. They all did really well. All of them qualified for second round. So
Hmm.
what I'm saying is, I mean, I wish the MLS can look at it as a blueprint and say, man, look at this. Look at Brazil. Let's invest in the youth, and let's invest in the local talent. And then from then, when we got a FIFA World Club again, now it's great exposure for them. So the clubs in Europe can come here and buy it. But I think they need to rethink about what they need to do, because I just don't like it. Me personally, I don't like it.
Agreed.
But anyway, it's 9:30. It was great. It was good conversation today. like always, Alain, you're always there for me, to challenge the status quo, to say that Neymar needs to go. But no, that's no exactly. That's what we want. We love it. This is what a podcast is supposed to be. When we challenge each other, when we make it very authentic, and I enjoy it like always. So you have a good night. So we get ready for this weekend. We have a lot of soccer games to watch this weekend, and have this conversation again on Sunday.
All right, coach. It was a pleasure. It was a lot of fun, and then see you next Sunday.
All right. See you on Sunday. All right.
Do you live and breathe the beautiful game? Dream about the biggest soccer moments?
Or maybe you just want to hear some unfiltered takes from real fans like you.
Welcome to Futbol Unfiltered, where the passion for soccer knows no boundaries.
Meet your panel, Carl Phillip, JD, Yanel, and Coach. From the world's biggest matches to those unforgettable moments that made us fall in love with and the rising stars shaping soccer's future, you'll find it all here. Join us every week for Futbol Unfiltered, the bilingual soccer podcast that speaks your language, your passion, and your love for the game. Futbol Unfiltered, where soccer's heart beats louder.